Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. Today I want to look at the 4 chord. The 4 chord on the 4th step of the scale has a special place in harmony. It doesn't have that strong, edgy push that the dominant chord has, the 5 chord. And yet it does function to take us back to 1 or up to 5. It's got a kind of a gentle mystery to it that's super useful for songwriting, epic scoring, embellishing other chords. It's a jack of all trades. Let's look at it today. Just a quick review. On the first step of the scale, C, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7. There's our 4 chord. And then G7. Of course, the 6th step of the scale, A minor 7. And then the sort of leading chord taking us home again to C, major 7. Well, 2 of those chords are major 7, the 1 chord and the 4 chord. And I'll tell you what, because they're major 7 chords, they have a tonic energy. They have kind of a tonal gravity. And some of my favorite pop music and classical music, and even jazz, takes advantage of the ambiguity of 2 sort of tonic type chords side by side. We've played around with it before, but this chord progression from Gymnopédie No. 1, Eric Satie's just elegant piano piece, is essentially the major 4 chord going to the major 1 chord. I went from G major 7 to D major 7. The softness belies its propulsive, rolling quality. I just the other day had a chance to take a look at this little arrangement of Once, and it uses the same idea. How beautiful are these 2 chords, C and F2? The 2 chords interact with each other in a way that is ambiguous. It doesn't have a strong tonic-dominant relationship, and it's so powerful. Well, let's take a look at a couple of other great tricks that we can do with the 4 chord. If you're a rock guitarist or a rock keyboard player, you've undoubtedly come across what I like to call the stomp, where a 5th on the 1 chord is embellished with a 6th and back again. So here I am. I'm going to stomp it now, give you a little break. Now that was a 1 chord to a 4 chord. And if you think about what's happening in the left hand, it's essentially a 1 chord and then a 4 chord. I'm playing what my teacher would call a fragment of it. A partial version of the chord. See, there's no E in the middle and there's no F in the middle, but it's still 1, 4, 1. The stomp is an embellishment. And in fact, that embellishment, using the 4 chord in that inversion, turns up everywhere. One of the classic riffs in New Orleans music, it goes something like this. I should play it down here where you can see it. So that was awful fast. This is B flat major. And then there's that 4 chord, and then back again. And down here, that's the 4 chord, 4, 7, 1, 4, 4, 7, 1. It can be used to embellish almost any chord progression. Let's come up with a pop chord progression and then embellish a couple of the chords using that 4 chord embellishment trick. So here's my progression, and I'll voice it. C, E minor, A minor, F. Now I have a couple of opportunities for 4-chord embellishment. C, F, C, E minor, A minor, E minor, A minor, D minor, A minor, although that's not my favorite. I might not do that. F, B flat to F, and back to C. That's beautiful. Well, so let's think about this. So here's my C. Let's not embellish the A minor. And then go right to the B flat to F. The F goes back home again to C. I love it. Well, I just wrote a pop chord progression. Please steal it and write an excellent song. In jazz and rock, in sort of that blue note fusion of jazz and rock that is so sweet, there are a number of examples of this kind of thing. Take, for instance, that Herbie Hancock tune. Right? Watermelon Man. So what am I doing? I went F7 to the B flat 4 chord, and I don't even resolve it. I just let it sit there. That 4 chord acts as an embellishment, and I can move that around to all of the key levels. And just get a groovy vibe, right? You've probably noticed this already. It really comes out of the gospel sound, doesn't it? It comes out of the blues vocabulary that arises out of church music, and it gets used in kind of the blues and gospel style. Well, no surprise, because the 4 chord is often called the Amen cadence. If I said to you, imagine a chorus singing Amen, you'd probably hear this in your head. That was an F chord in first inversion to a C chord, and you can see the E is on top. I'm still playing a C in the bass. I guess we might have to call that second inversion. Amen. 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 All of your relationships like that, 4-1, are generally in sort of music theory called Plagal cadences. A Plagal cadence is when you go 4-1. And there is a kind of a cool offshoot of that called the Plagal 2. So the Plagal 2 is kind of great, and I use it as a piano player all the time. And it kind of works like this. Here's my C chord, and then there's a D minor beside it. C, D minor, C, D minor, C. Do you hear how those D minor chords sort of embellish the sound? It's pretty powerful. I'll do it again. C, D minor, C, C, D minor, C. I passed between the C chords by using a, I don't know, kind of it's a passing chord, a D minor triad. Well, I mean, honestly, that's a pretty familiar sound to anybody who's ever heard Billy Preston play. In fact, that's where I learned it from. It's all over the Preston stuff in that beautiful Beatles documentary. You hear him playing that style a lot. It's terrific on organ, etc. Okay, there's really one more trick that we have to talk about with the 4 chord before we go. And of course, we've been hearing it a lot lately, where we go 1, and then maybe we're going to go to the 3 chord, and then the 4 chord, and then the 4 chord becomes minor. That minor 4 chord, my favorite surprise chord, pushes us back home again to 1. It is gorgeous. 1, 3, 4, 4 minor. Let's make the 3 chord major. And then minor 4. And I played minor 6. It's so beautiful. Resolves to 1. I'm embellishing all these chords with that 4 chord embellishment. the embellishment of the 4 chord. It moves you around. That Plagal 2 moves you around, and yet it moves you in a soft way. It's propulsive without using the dominant chord, and that's something that's very important in my own writing. Explore the 4 chord in every inversion. The way to get to know it is to either type it in, or however you enter your music, however you play your music. You'll want to have a really clear understanding of each of the inversions of the 1 and 4 chords and as they relate to each other. Now, once you kind of get there, you can just start creating them as a flow. And that flow can be very powerful and really engaging in just a great way. There's a lot more to say about it, but I've been talking for so long, I think it's time to stop. Listen, I hope this has been useful. So like and subscribe, ding the bell, and you'll be notified when I do my videos, and I'll see you next time.